Right, we'll cross this next. These live pictures from Paris. Union members there staging a major protest against the controversial labour reforms being pushed through by President Hollande. Let's cross live to Artizana Baranova. She's at that rally as well. Last time you were there, unfortunately, got a knock on their head. Hopefully things are a bit quieter this time. And it looks lively, as you probably would expect it to. There's a lot of people out there, but peaceful at the moment, it seems, yeah?
No, it's much worse, actually. We were forcefully removed by a mob of angry protesters behind a police cordon, so that's why we're here. And just in the corner, you can see what's going on behind the police cordon. That's where the manifestation is taking place. There's a lot of anger. Unfortunately, it's vented at the media as well as at the police. But of course, we know that these people are first and foremost angry with their government, who are pushing through a labour law that the French don't like very much. They've been protesting since March. It's been going on for quite some time, and so far things are just heating up. This is a staged protest. It's been sanctioned. It's completely legal, but it is once again turning a little bit violent, not just here in Paris, but it's already been like this in Rennes, there are also roads that are being blocked across France, and of course we know that petrol workers and nuclear workers have also been blocking off the work of their stations. So all of this may potentially lead to shortages in gas, for that matter. The government, however, doesn't seem to want to move forward and discuss anything with the French people. They, for their part, stand on their own. We can listen to what Prime Minister of France, Manuel Valls, had to say about this.
It is a minority organization that wants to break the government and to simply distort public opinion. That organization does not dictate the laws of the country.
Well, I spoke to people here at the protest from CGT, from this labour union. Many of them feel that they are actually the voice of the country, that they are those who rule, that the streets have the power. Of course, this is a very mixed crowd. Thousands of people are out there, not just labour union workers. They're also young people and, of course, the infamous French casseurs, the troublemakers who are here to get into a fight, again, to push through their ideas.
Yeah, I was worried when it turns into evening and night as well, whether it's going to kick off further. OK, Anna, we'll be coming back to you in the coming hours, no doubt, to see how that is progressing in Paris. Thank you for now. Well, Anna mentioned it just now. The protesters also joined in by workers from French nuclear plants today who are currently out on strike over the changes, which is set to make it easier to sack staff and make the working week longer. Employees in one facility in the town of Nangkatan were the first to walk out. The nuclear plant there is just 120 kilometres from Paris. It's one of France's key energy facilities, providing 30% of the region's power. Their 24-hour strike started Wednesday evening. Meantime, staff at other nuclear plants in France have joined in as well. In total, there isn't a map. Actions being taken at 16 out of 19 facilities today. Nuclear power provides a big chunk, 3/4 of it, of the country's electricity in France, and the effects of the strike are still yet to be properly felt. Of course, there's still, now as we head into the evening, people come home from work, etc., put the kettle on. We spoke to the National Federation of Energy and Mines about the union's goals here, then.
We will create difficulties in electricity production, but of course avoid a major blackout. Our goal is not to deprive the entire country of electricity, but to draw the attention of the government and entrepreneurs to the problems created by this labour law.
It's not only power outages which are worrying specialists. Even though the reactors won't completely stop running, the situation could increase the likelihood, of course, of an emergency if something went badly wrong. We talked about that to engineer John Large.
Look, the primary risk of closing down a nuclear power plant is a very ordered situation. When you close down a plant, you have to balance the pressure and the temperature of the nuclear circuit. But the real problem here is this. If these people go on strike, closing down a nuclear power plant not only takes 6 to 8 hours, but also once it's closed down, you then have to provide electricity to keep the plant cool, because the fuel inside the nuclear reactor continues to generate a very substantial amount of heat, and if it's not cooled, it will melt down. If this is confined to one nuclear power plant at Nogent-le-Son, if that's the limit, that's fine, because EDF can bring in other personnel from other nuclear plants to actually look after that plant. The real problem is if this strike becomes a wildcat strike and moves to other nuclear plants, then EDF, the operator, the management, will have considerable difficulties finding sufficient resources to operate all of these plants or close them down and maintain them safe. It puts the plant, but particularly the local communities, at risk. If something goes wrong with the strike action, if the right personnel are not there, or mistakes are made in a hurried intervention to close the system down, then of course the reactor, which has enormous thermal and potential energy, can actually destroy itself. So that's the additional risk that you take when you take unplanned industrial action at a nuclear power plant.